This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us and IndyWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Just pro wrestling news podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Now, Daniel, you're not a part of that show next week, because last I knew you don't have a tag team. But but it's definitely something exciting. I know that promotion has been it's been a hot one for you over there.
Yeah, I mean, they contacted me kind of on a whim because I know a bunch of the guys there, like Brian Edmonds and some of the other guys are from Pennsylvania, so they know me from either RWA or Revenge Pro. A lot of IWC guys from there, and I mean, it's I can't remember how long Pro Wrestling Conquest has been around, but since I've started, it's just gotten ridiculously good. Like, I'm beyond proud to work for them. I feel lucky and fortunate to work for them because, I mean, compared to most of the guys they book, I'm a nobody. And I'll admit that I'm the nobody in the group. So I'm thankful, beyond blessed, that I get to be a part of what's happening in the magic they're making and to be a part of the growth that's Pro Wrestling Conquest. I mean, at the rate they're going, when I see them and I'm at the shows and everything, and you listen to the crowd, you watch the stuff that's happening, this is the kind of company that could turn into, like a Midwest pro wrestling gorilla or something, just with the styles of matching they book, the wrestlers that they book. I mean, you want a high impact action, you got it. You want crazy flips and dives and stuff, you got it. You want two guys throwing a cowbell back and forth, yelling yes and no, and the crowd going crazy, you got it. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, hell, just so many of us, like athletes, per se. I'm not dogging anybody, but all of us guys like to do the crazy, cool stuff, moves and stuff. We did everything we could at the last show in your housing. And we were all joking watching Jock Sampson versus Danhausen, and we were just like, everything we just did, and it had nothing to do with that match there. Like, nothing we did in our match could top what they're doing, and they were literally doing nothing, but it was amazing. It was great.
Yeah, it was a lot of comedy, right? It was a lot of fun.
Right.
So.
But it was perfect for what it was, and that's the thing about pro wrestling is, especially Pro Wrestling Conquest. Everybody has their taste on it, and I've always in my head thought this, like, same thing with anime.
Yeah.
You have your wrestling in your anime that's based around storytelling. You have your wrestling in your anime that's, all action. Doesn't really make sense sometimes, but, you love watching it. It's like, oh, crap, that's cool. That's awesome. It's cool. What's happening right now? And then you have your mix of both. And Pro Wrestling Conquest is one of those companies where you get a taste of everything. Your comedy, your action, your emotion, the story, just anything and everything you can get. Beer. I know they push the beer a lot, so there is beer to drink while you're at the show. I'll say it for you. You're welcome, Derek.
That adds an interesting fan element to it for sure. So
I mean, hell, the last show the crowd went crazy, beyond crazy, because you had Mance Warner out there wanting a beer, and then here comes freaking Sandman out of nowhere with a case of beer, and it was just like, that crowd went ballistic. And maybe they needed the beer after hearing Julian Hall sing. I don't know, but it's a fun time, and I think it's going to be one of those companies to keep an eye on. And I hope I can maintain my stay there to be at the pinnacle or at the peak when they reach it, because it's going to be an awesome thing to be a part of. And I hope Brian Edmonds is happy with what I'm saying now. We'll call him out on it.
Yeah, you got to make sure you appease the office.
Yeah. Gotta get that rub.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. Well, even this next show, just to plug it real quick, friends of the show, like the main event, Generation Dead, G Raver and Gory, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton from Impact Wrestling, The Awakening, The Formula Ascension, Lenny and Lodi from WCW reuniting on here. Tate Twins I saw at OVW win the championship when I was down there for a taping, and of course some other friends, Facade and Danny Moe, Victor Benjamin, Lady Frost. Well, of course Frost just on the NWA pay-per-views over the weekend. And like I said, hey, Jock Sampson, of course, Jock Sampson, Cole Carter, and some tag team action as well. Not together. I think they pick each other's partners or something
Yeah,
that's going
and I
on.
won't be
So
there because nobody called me to be the mystery partner, so I
okay,
won't be there for that. But I mean, in all honesty, I might have to honestly buy the show because I mean, hell, the main event versus the Awakening. When I first found out about that match, it's like that's going to be an awesome match. That's
yeah,
going to be one. That one right there will steal the show. I know it's technically a tournament. I mean, hell, for a first round tournament match, good luck to everybody else because that one is the show. That match is the entire show right there. So it's going to be awesome. Good luck to those guys. I look forward to being able to watch it one way or another.
yep. There's gonna be a lot of options in order to watch it live or after the fact. We really appreciate that. Even Conquest partnering with us at IndyWrestling.us to do the pay per view. So looking forward to getting that out there for everybody. And it's the best kept secret in West Virginia is Pro Wrestling Conquest. But the reason we have you here, the real reason we want to talk to you, is you're a big Dragon Ball Z fan. It comes out in your wrestling, and I just wanted to give you guys all the floor to talk Dragon Ball Z for the next however long. So first of all, now we were talking about you beforehand about like kind of the Man of Tomorrow kind of moniker and things like
Right.
that, and
Right.
obviously over the last several years, like I think I first saw it with you up in Revenge more than anything. Revenge Pro up in
Mm-hmm.
Erie, great Erie Draven, John McChesley. I'm hoping they come back soon. So you're obviously a big fan. You're wearing the hat if you guys are on audio. And oh no, we lost your video for a moment. There you are.
Oh,
So,
yeah. My phone battery's getting low, so
oh,
we're good though.
okay. Well, if you drop off, we know why. We just
Are
have
we
to.
just not
Yep.
going to point out and said the phone of tomorrow? And we're just not going to point that out.
No, we talked about that before you got on hand.
Yes,
So
yes.
Because I terribly
yeah,
fucking
that's
popped
old
for
news.
it. I popped for it. So it's,
So tell us first of all about like what was the point where you embraced Dragon Ball Z in your in your wrestling?
Well, I'll reiterate what I said before we got like live and everything. Like when I first started, everyone was like, yeah, I was clean shaven and stuff. Everyone's like, you look like Superman. You look like Superman. You got to do Superman. So my mentor who brought me into the business was like, I'm going to book you as Man of Steel. Then the Man of Steel came out. I hate Superman. I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't care. I hate Superman. We won't break it down why again, but a buddy named Brandon Espinoza came up to me one day and he was like, "Hey, why don't you take off with like the Man of Tomorrow? It's a less promoted moniker of Superman, small line of comics." And something clicked and I ran with it. I liked it and it worked. I mean, I've been doing this for 9 years now and I felt like it worked for about 4 to 5 years of it. And then after a while, I just got kind of burnt out on just being compared to Superman and I wasn't having fun with it as much. And I don't know, I watch a lot of anime. Certain things about it are clicking with me. And I think what really made me dive into it was about let's see, pre-COVID, so maybe 3.5 years ago. I posted a gym photo and I was wearing a Goku tank top, and a fan from RWA commented. He was like hashtag bearded Goku. I was like, holy shit, I'm running with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And um, the more I thought about it, and everybody gets their inspirations for their gimmick, their character from different aspects. Some people try to replicate um, former, wrestlers or current wrestlers, whatever. Like their inspirations are actual wrestlers. Some people take characters from movies or TV shows. So the more I started watching certain animes, thinking about it, it was just like, I think I can have fun with this again, and I can really make something out of me and my character, just pulling these little, Easter eggs of hidden gems and stuff from animes, and it just, I feel like it just kind of took off for me as far as, you know, reaching a broader selection of fans and mainly just having fun for me and being proud of my character. Um, I always get shit on for doing the Superman punch, and we can go back and compare who did what first. I'm not going to do that. but I always got called, a thief, or I'm just a Roman Reigns wannabe,
Well, I mean,
essentially.
that was a move in MMA before Roman Reigns ever
Exactly,
did it.
and
Like that's where it came up with that name. Like that was, I was
yeah,
doing that in UFC games when I had my Xbox 360. Like,
right, and I started doing that move because one of my trainers was Tony Kazina, who trained, with Davey Richards, Kyle O'Reilly. He's done a lot of things with Ring of Honor. He's doing stuff with New Japan now. He's in New Zealand with the Follow Dojo, and I trained with him for 6 to 8 months. We had, personalized storyline at the company that he was spending that time solely on working with me with character, personality, this and that. And he was like, "Why don't you start doing the Superman punch? Your gimmick's Superman. Start doing the Superman punch." And fast forward a couple months, I'm working just outside of St. Louis, and there's a lot of mixed emotions about me doing that. And the guy actually wrote an article, and he's like, "Look, the dude looks like Superman, and it's an MMA move. He didn't steal it from anybody. It just makes sense. It goes hand in hand." So with my character now, if they have commentating and stuff, I tell them, "Hey, don't call it the Superman punch, call it the Proud Fist," because one of my favorite animes growing up was S. Cryed, and the main character, he did a big knockout punch and everything, and his final form of it was called the Proud Fist. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to run with that. And even though Doc at RWA can never get it right, it's just two simple words. He can never get it right. It's either the Proud Punch or the Pride Fist or the Pride Punch. It just clicked. And so what I'm doing with my gimmick now is like I'm taking certain things and I'm incorporating anime references with it. Like I do an elevated roll the dice or the crossroads, and I'm holding the guy in a dragon sleeper, so I call it the Shinron Buster. And one of my favorite, you like that, don't you?
I'm just sitting here playing with my set of, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's pretty good. Although if he can't figure out, Pride Fist, you could always call it the Dragon Punch.
Yeah, that's true. Or was it Dragon Punch? I think they called it the Dragon Fist, wasn't
Dragon Fist, excuse me. Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I thought about that, but just I like having my
Yeah.
little Easter eggs here and there. Tony Kazino was the one who suggested I do a Rainmaker, and there's an amazing anime out that it's stupid that it's not being produced right now, but it's called Black Clover, and one of his big moves is called the Black Meteorite. So I dubbed my Rainmaker the Black Meteorite, and just doing small things like that, it's fun for me again. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is be like a living anime character, whether I'm a good guy, a bad guy, my personality and how I do things and stuff. It just makes sense. I do strike combinations now that I base off Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece. And and yes, I'll yell out like Gum Gum, Gatling, Gum Gum Bazooka, Red Hawk, stuff like that, just to be kind of over the top. But it's fun for me, and I know when fans get it because I can feel that their appreciation, or they pop for it. I mean, hell, Sword was there when I powered up and tried to go Super Saiyan at Revenge Pro Wrestling. And I remember after doing that, I think you had to cut away from someone else. I'm pretty sure you were laughing pretty hard as I was doing that, and the camera was shaking or something. I'm surprised
it was
shaking the camera.
It was. He starts busting it out. I'm like, oh, this is so good.
The camera shaking probably helped the effect.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Just the whole arena was, just trembling and shaking around me. And
have you ever tried to get the fans to lend you their energy?
I actually have, yes.
It's amazing.
This summer, I was in a triple threat match, and we did the tower spot in the corner, and of course I was on the bottom to do the power slam or the power bomb. And right before I did it, I smacked the guy's back, and I stood back and I put my hands in the air. I was like, Illinois, give me your strength. I can't remember the city off the top of my head, but I said the city and said, give me your strength. And the crowd popped and they put their hands up, and I was like, yes, we got this.
Nice. Nice.
That's amazing. A real life spirit bomb.
Yeah. Well, and like recently, and I think Sorg, I don't know if you caught it in my, I mean, I've done it almost every match at Pro Wrestling Conquest, but I started doing a special beam cannon chop. So,
yep.
Yeah. So I'll chop the guy once, I'll chop the guy twice, and then like I'll put my fingers up to my head and I'll charge up essentially. And the guy will try to like swing throw a bunch of punches and swing at me and stuff. I mean, hell, Jake something tried to duck it, and I smacked him in the back, and then I let out a big chop on him. And it's just simple things like that to where like I pop the crowd, cool, but regardless, I'm having fun with it. It's some things are silly, but I don't care. I honestly don't care. I'm having fun.
Even the last Conquest, you had Calvin Tankman, which tremendous match, tremendous talent. And you did the build up, chopped them, no reaction, and you're just like, I didn't charge up long enough, or I needed 30 minutes or something. So.
No, that was at Revenge Pro because I think I said something like that there. Yeah, I was like,
yeah, I think you did that there too. Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
But yeah, Revenge Pro. That's when I knew, like, okay, I really got to run with this because one random fan was like, "Go Super Saiyan," and I just walked away from John McChesney. I looked at him like, "Hey, man, I need 3 30-minute episodes to pull that off." And then you heard the lady, "I got a 20-minute time limit, so that's not happening tonight." and then of course, John.
It could have happened quicker if someone murdered your best friend.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, but I don't have a short ball friend right now, but I do want to see if Aaron Draven
Ronnie, I was waiting.
You do now.
Wait, how about this?
Ronnie,
the next Revenge Pro show, which I think might actually happen in November, I'll have a bag of some sensu beans, and when I give you the signal, you just run out and chuck the bag at me, and then I'll eat a sensu bean, and which they actually sell now. And I'll just squash the guy. How about that?
You just want me to scream, Goku!
Oh,
well,
God.
you tried to help me. My opponent will kill you. Sure. And then I'll just yell, "Crackhead!" It's up in my lungs, and then we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Ronnie, you'll take another bump for that, right?
I love everything.
I'll take a bump for that. I'll die for you, buddy.
I love everything about this.
So, and I love because like by design, I'm like, oh, Mike, you haven't seen any of his matches yet. You want me to send me? He's like, no, I want to go in cold on this.
Yeah, I want to go in cold. Like I want pure reaction.
Yes.
But if you ever go heel, you gotta practice your M. Just go a little Majin on the forehead. Mm-hmm. You can join like
or I could just. I mean, if we want to be technical, if I ever go heel, then I just gotta dye my hair pink, right?
That's another. That's very true. Very, very true.
So, or just get like a really dark tan and call myself the bearded. What was his name? Tuttles. What was his name? Turles. Yeah.
Yeah, you come out with a big old dragon fruit and take a bite of it before each match.
I'm surprised no one's done Raku on you. The name's Raku, and it rhymes with doom, and you're gonna be hurting all too soon. I love Abridged. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Well, and at that same company that I did the Tower Spirit Bomb, I guess we can call it. It was actually a tag match. I was tagging with Brandon Espinoza. And he was actually, knowing that we were in a tag team together, he actually wore Vegeta, like singlet, trunks. He's got these custom white boots with gold tips and stuff. And I mean, it was so dumb. But the people that got the reference were just eating it up and going crazy.
That's awesome.
Did you guys try a fuse?
Oh yeah, we actually, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, we did the fusion dance like as they were announcing us as a tag team and stuff. Before we walked out, I was like, dude, I know you're shorter than me, but it's okay because Vegeta's shorter than Goku, so we can make it work. We're doing the fusion dance when we get out there. He's like, no, like, please, just let me have this moment.
Wait, so he was hesitant to do it just like Vegeta was?
Yeah. I was like, dude, it's gonna be awesome. Just it's pro wrestling. It's awesome. Let's just go with it.
Oh,
I
that's
would do
great.
I would do my Vegeta impression right now, but I haven't done it in a while, and my throat gets really sore when I do it, so I'm not going to do it. But that sounds amazing.
Yeah, plus, you have to be at your ready to do your Vince McMahon impression because it's
Yeah,
inevitable.
absolutely. My power level is not nearly over 9,000 right now,
No,
so I can't do it right now.
exactly. I was just thinking, the bar, didn't they do a fusion dance when they came out
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
of sorts? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they just did the final pose of it.
Yeah. Just a quick thing.
Yeah.
So, but it was a nice
And
nod,
Well, and of course,
yeah,
New Day
New Day,
New Day
came out in
yes.
complete Saiyan gear.
Yes.
I mean, hell yeah, they came out of a ginormous box of bootios wearing Saiyan armor, and I mean, it wasn't the best looking armor, but I didn't care. I popped for it. I was like, that's awesome. I mean, hell, I mean, Xavier always does crazy things with his hair, and he had his hair all spiked up like Goku's and stuff. And I don't know if the rest of the guys were as big of Dragon Ball fans as him, but he was
Um,
having the time of his life at least.
okay, so the New Day podcast, they had a TV show tournament that lasted over the course of 2 episodes of their podcast. Dragon Ball Z ended up being named their favorite TV show of all time
As a whole of the group.
as a collective.
All right.
Wow.
Well, then I stand corrected. So,
It was pretty funny because like they're getting rid of shows like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, like they're just dumping all of them, and they're like, I don't think we intended to end up with Dragon Ball Z as the best TV show of all time, but here we are.
well, and I mean, and hell, you look at what Dragon Ball Super did, and Dragon Ball Super took everything that everyone from the 90s and early 2000s hated on Dragon Ball Z about, and you can tell they listened to it and they perfected it. I mean, hell, the best part was the first time Goku went Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Blue. Everyone's like, what is that? He's just like, I could explain it, but we're just going to call it Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Blue. Just like kind of like that little jab at all those people that constantly just bury Dragon Ball. Oh, they just spend 30 minutes just screaming and powering up and this and that, and he's like, it is what it is, whatever.
Yeah.
And but no, it's like Dragon Ball Z for its time was great, and it was one of those things like it was just like a national treasure, if you will, of an anime. But what Dragon Ball Super did was just amazing, like just beautiful, the storytelling, the cinematics of it, and everything. But just the way they broke it down. I mean, the Tournament of Power was by far one of the best stories, and it was so well played out, like visually, but just each character had its moments, even your side characters that no one ever cared about, like Master Roshi, Krillin. I mean, hell, the episode with Master Roshi, I mean, that was a tear jerker almost. I mean, just when he had his moment with Krillin and Goku and all the flashbacks and stuff, it was like you took this creepy old perv of a, martial artist and turned him into this, complete badass hero. It was just, I was proud to be a Dragon Ball fan watching that arc.
Yeah, it's like they brought him back to his roots almost.
Right.
Like he almost went full Jackie Chan again, which was great.
Right. But just the way they told the story, they didn't drag it out, anything out like they did in the original series that everyone, harps on and stuff. They just got to the point. I mean, still, you can knock it for like, they say, hey, there's 2 minutes left in the tournament. What's going to happen? And then you have 10, 12 more episodes of 30 minutes, and there's a lot of talking that lasts longer than 2 minutes, but that's anime. But when you break it down compared to what it originally was and what GT was, they just knocked it out of the park, and it was just so beautifully done that, I mean, I've watched Super, I mean, probably 5 times, and I laughed because I actually saw a meme earlier about people dogging on One Piece, but they've watched Naruto and Dragon Ball Z 5 times. It's like, well, One Piece puts Dragon Ball Z powering up the shame with the way they drag things out.
So are you not a GT guy then?
When I was a kid, like I liked it because it was different and stuff. I'm not going to harp on it like a lot of people do. I mean, it was still cool, different, but that was probably the one. I think I've watched it like 2 times through, but it's one of those ones like I just don't have any desire to go back and watch it. Like I didn't hate on it, but it wasn't like my cup of tea per se. I'm glad they made it canon essentially, and then what they've done with Dragon Ball Super, going off of the Boo saga and everything, it just smashed it, and there's just no comparison. When you go from GT to Super as a post Boo arc, there's just no comparison. So I think they had a different producer or writer for GT compared to Super. So that dude was definitely on his aim.
Yeah,
game.
yeah. It wasn't Toriyama.
And for those who don't know, like the uninitiated, they're still hanging with us in this Dragon Ball conversation. I did watch. So I'm somebody who Dragon Ball Z was just always on because like the Art Institute, it was on every like they had Cartoon Network
Toonami,
like so
yeah.
I know most of it through that, especially the later Majin Buu era. A little bit of the original series I've seen, but I did see the entirety of GT, and GT was like we were shot to the future a little bit. Goku got turned into a kid for some reason, and there was a lot of stuff in space.
Mm-hmm.
Was that basically sums it up from my recollection, right?
Basically, what happened was there was another group of
Dragon Balls.
another group of
Yes.
Dragon Balls. Only they were the Black Star Dragon Balls.
Right.
That was created by King Piccolo before he split off.
Yes.
And they were more powerful Dragon Balls. And so Emperor Pilaf was going to make a wish on them. And Goku interfered. And he's like, Pilaf said, "Oh, I wish you were a kid again." Just speaking
Throwing
out
that
of turn.
out there, yeah.
Just speaking out of turn. And everyone was like, "Your wish has been granted." And then Goku turned into a kid. And the Black Star Dragon Balls went off to all the corners of the universe. So that's why they were in space the whole time.
Yes.
And then apparently each Dragon Ball had a dragon that I don't know, they were like sealed away or something.
Yeah, because the Dragon Balls got cracked from overuse.
Right.
And then you had the Omega Shenron that could absorb all the Black Star Dragon Balls and become some ginormous badass. And it was just weird transformation. Like all of his horns just became like ginormous on his back and stuff, and it wasn't really much of a change, but it's just like the premise of it compared to now. Like, okay, we have to somehow grow our tails back and stare at the moon and power up to become Super Saiyan 4. Which
gotta get some blunt waves going.
Yeah, and you like Goku all of a sudden is an adult again. Like he can go Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 as a kid. Then he turns Super Saiyan 4. He's an adult again. 3/4 of his body's covered in red ape hair, and he's got some red eyeshadow and stuff. It just, I mean, back then it was just like, man, that's kind of cool. And then you think of it as you get older, it's like that's kind of lame. Like, what was the whole premise of that? And then you see it now, and it's like, okay, this is a little bit more believable, a little less hokey. I mean,
yeah.
A guy's hair can only change so many colors, I guess, but at least it's.
I am noticing. So I've never seen Super, but Super is the dub is available on Hulu. If you happen to have Hulu, if you got one of your Disney Plus packs, 131 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
And these titles are long.
And the titles, don't read the titles because they will give away what happens in every episode.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. They give away what happens in every single
I'm spoiling myself just flipping through this.
Yeah, stop that.
I mean, you won't understand it
No.
until you watch it, but like,
right.
But like, they'll say like Vegeta's last stand. Like, oh, I wonder what's happening this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like when I first heard about Super, because of GT, I wasn't that excited about it. It's one of those things like Dragon Ball Z was great back then. I still love it now. It was one of those things like just leave it alone. And then I remember I was on the road with some guys, and they mentioned it. I'm like, wait, that's still going on? They're like, oh yeah, dude, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And at that point, it was like 30 something episodes, and maybe it had been around for 6 to 8 months, we'll say. And I waited on it for like another couple months. I was like, nope, screw it. I got nothing to watch. I'll give it a shot. They had some dubbed episodes out at that point, so I started watching those, and I was just instantly hooked to a point where I caught up with the dubbed episodes that were aired. I couldn't wait for the dub to come out when I saw that there was like 30 something more of the subtitled episodes. So I just said, F it. Like, I can hear the American voices in my head. I'll just watch the subtitled version. I can't wait for this. And yeah, I was hooked. I finished everything else on the subtitled version. And then I instantly went back to the dubbed, rewatched the entirety, and got caught up again to where I think there was maybe 12, 14 episodes left. And yeah, I mean, they usually came out, I think, like Saturday night, Sunday morning, and usually it was like when I was on the road home from somewhere, I had it pulled up as soon as it hit midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. I was watching Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super on my phone driving home because I couldn't wait to get home. Like, I couldn't wait till I got home to watch it. And, I mean, it was awesome. It was beautifully done. So Sorg and anyone else that's never watched Super that says it, you will not waste your time. And cannot commend what they did with that whole series enough.
Oh, I'm definitely going to get into that after that recommendation. For those curious, Hulu does also have the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball GT, but they are subtitled versions.
Yes,
this is the problem. Well, they had like Cowboy Bebop was like not all of them were on dubbed.
No,
or
Cowboy
something like
Bebop
that.
is dubbed.
But on Hulu it was funky. Because I was trying to watch episodes and like it didn't seem like they had everything dubbed.
I thought they fixed it because I just watched it.
Did it? Oh, well, I don't know. I just bought it on Google Video like a year ago, so I just watch it whenever I want. So
I mean, honestly, like there's some that I watch on Hulu and stuff because they do stay pretty up to date.
Yeah,
like Boruto and stuff. But other ones like One Piece is on Netflix, it's on Hulu. But realistically, I mean, you have to either watch it on Crunchyroll or I have a website that I go to that stays up to date with everything. And because Hulu and Netflix, they'll only have some series, like the first 2 or 4 seasons, and well, hell, that's like 40 to 80 episodes compared to their entirety. And One Piece is at like 1,300 episodes right now, and
all right,
I think I'm at like episode 800 something, and that's one of those ones that's just like they drag it on so much that I just take breaks and I'll binge it for a day or two, and then I'm like, I can't.
So I have one more question before we have to go to break here.
I have one more.
Okay. Mike, you go first.
Okay. What is your favorite Dragon Ball Z fight not involving a Saiyan?
Not involving a Saiyan? Ooh, that's a good one. You're really making me think and like rewatch the entirety.
Yeah, I mean, especially because I haven't thought about this since Super came out, so my answer might change now that I think about Super and stuff. But most of those had Saiyans involved, so
yeah, I'm trying to think because a lot of the scenes from like Super that I remember involve Saiyans and stuff, but there's not that many scenes with non-Saiyans fighting. As far as like Krillin didn't have that many shining moments. Piccolo had some during the Tournament of Power. But honestly, I would have to probably say there were some moments with Android 17 and even Frieza during the Tournament of Power. I mean, can I say like I'm going to say probably the final battle, even though Goku's a part of it, but they gave Android 17 and Frieza their due fighting Jiren, and that's one of those scenes that really stuck out to me, just because like the storyline of those being two of Goku's worst enemies and stuff, and the animation of it was awesome. Because outside of that, I mean, favorite Saiyan fights, I mean, hell, what was her name? Kefla, after they fused. That scene with Goku tapping into Ultra Instinct's one of the best scenes ever. Yeah. I mean, hell, he was charging up a Kamehameha while riding on his hands in the Kamehameha ball on those beams and stuff like that. I mean, hell, I want to do a back roll while someone and hit a Kamehameha after watching that. It's they gave so many awesome scenes that I can't think of any Piccolo fight scenes that stood out to me. I can't think of any Krillin ones that really stood out to me.
I'm sad that you haven't brought up Hercule.
Hey, you know what? I mean, my go-to has always been 17 versus Piccolo from the Android saga. That's always been my go-to. But I loved his fight with. I love 17's fight with Ribrianne.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. Where he did like the barrier going, like that barrier. Just boy, when they came up with that idea, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna use this everywhere."
and that was, I mean, that was the thing. That's why coming into this, thinking about certain scenes and stuff without knowing anything what we're going to talk about, like that's why I wanted to poke at with Super was how they ended that final battle was just so amazing, and like again the storytelling of two of Goku's enemies, because that's Goku's thing. He's had all these enemies, but he's always been able to befriend them after fighting them. I mean, hell, they were ready.
Uh-oh.
I think his phone died. I think his phone died. Because he knew. Oh, no.
Next time on Dragonball Z.
Okay, well, hopefully we can get him back. That you know what? That's probably perfect, because my question was going to be Dragon Ball Evolution?
Oh, boy. Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah.
Oh, Sorg.
Well, I started with Super, and then I watched Abridged,
Mm-hmm.
and then I watched Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Wow, so you really... Oh, boy, you went all over the place.
Wow.
I did. Because I started watching Super. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I didn't go back and watch it. But then I found Dragon Ball, not the dubbed version. Yeah, and I'm like, I can't watch this trash. Because
that was so, I came in discovering Dragon Ball Z, and then they started running the old Dragon Ball, and I'm just like, I can't do this. This is too goofy.
Yeah.
Right? So, and that's the thing. It was all, everything
that
had a different
was
tone.
way more for kids.
Now
way more
I want Ronnie to go watch and give opinions on GT. Good news, GT's not very long.
I will start watching GT tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
Live tweet this
Ronnie's
shit.
GT
Live tweet this shit.
I'll live tweet it, yeah.
All right.
Ronnie's GT updates are going to give me fucking life.
Hungry as fuck, but I ain't starving yet. Chain for the pain, cocktail dollar set. Never said I was a gangster or thug, but I'm an animal. Waiting for the taste of the blood.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.